When JB died, that was the last of the Miami.
When JB died, before like a war, where they talking about a war. See, I don't know about them other sets outside the West End or the West side of Atlanta, but when JB died, I know I ain't never heard no more beef about no more Miami shit. The last beef I heard after JB died, I told that JP, that nigga gangster now. They ended up laying down up in Kimberly Court and getting killed. It's cute style. You heard about that?
Who did?
JP. He went to prison for the
Oh, a Miami dude.
A Miami boy. He got charged with it. I'm pretty sure he did. If he did, I'm sorry. I know he went to prison for a very long time. He did. He had a trap in Kimberly Court. And he got, sun went down. See, that's what was going on. Them traps everywhere, man. They were, you know, this the finesse city, man. They were got wiping them dog. And then he came back. Okay, Kimberly Court, so got killed SQ style, some kind of way.
Yeah.
JP was, I'm 99% sure he went to prison for some kind of connection to it. Okay, Red Oak, motherfucker laid down, killed XQ style out there. They said the Miami boy did it. They said they had tied Trav name to it. He beat it. You know what I'm saying? You know, that wasn't the Fed was trying to get the electric chair. Then when I met Trav in DCU too in the penitentiary up there in Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. When they were trying to send him back, they were trying to give him the death penalty. They brought the death penalty back in the Fed.
So what year you went to the Fed?
I went in 95.
In 95? Yeah. What you went to the Fed for?
Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of crack and some marijuana. I had all this.
Okay. So before you went to the Fed, now we finna switch lanes a little bit, right? We finna switch lane. We finna go back to Al-Amin. You feel me?
Right.
So now you hustling. The Miami boy gone. Not gone, but that war shit and they prison ain't as big as it was once before. Now, Al-Amin, he over there on Lucile, was known as Lil-Pakistan, right?
Right.
He laying it down like far. He went laying like you can't sell no dope over there.
Jamil, okay, I'm gonna clear that myth up with Jamil Al-Amin. Cause a lot of people got a lot of different myths about this situation. Like I said earlier, hustling was in the West End before Jamil came. When Jamil came to the West End, he had a small section. That's why I named my book From the West End to Lil-Pakistan, because I watched the transition, how everything changed over. See, when he first came, he had a small store and a wash house down by the park. And he had like a house, 2-3 houses, more than whatever. So down in that area grew fast, right down there by the park and where his store was. Group Muslims started moving in down there. It was up on the corner of Lucile Kil, which was like probably 2 blocks away, everybody always sold dope up there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Jamil never, during my time in the West End hustling, we never really had a problem with Jamil. Because Jamil, it's a strange thing, because I grew up in the neighborhood. He know me as Lil Rod. I grew up over there, so when we started hustling, people used to look at us like I was kind of ashamed. For me, I started selling dope, you know what I'm saying? So Jamil never, ever said nothing. But you had, like in the West End, people put it on Jamil. It was a terrible over there where a lot of people got killed. And they put it, some people might say Jamil Al-Amin had something to do with it. But the book that I wrote and the evidence that I did writing the book that I came across, it was just one person responsible for the murders and the security, with the stuff they call the security force that was in the West End. It was ran by a guy named Shahid Abdul Rahman, real name Leonard Holland. He was the guy behind all the murders in the West End. And I'm not saying it to tell on that. He's a confessed serial killer. He confessed
So all these murders are documented.
documented. He confessed to him. He confessed to all the murders. And really, and when I read it, it was 9,000 pages that I had to go through to write my books. And when I read it, and I understand through his confessions that he wanted the family members to get closures on all these bodies in his book. But the government blocked it because when I was hustling, and then we're gonna get back to how I met the guy. When I was come to find out why Shahid was on the street killing these guys, he was working for federal agent Bill Gant, a FBI agent.
That's allegedly, right?
Not allegedly. It's in paper. I got all the paper. What I'm telling you, everything I speak on when it comes to this book right here, I got the paper, all the paper in the back of that book. All of it.
You got everything documented, right?
Everything documented in the back of that book.
So Shahid, he was doing a lot. He was a Muslim. He was up on the Al-Amin. He was doing a lot of killing.
Yeah, Shahid was a Muslim. He came. He was a guy from New York. He came. I met him. Okay, just get back to it. I met Shahid around the time I had the beef with the Miami boy.
You had
I knew him around that time.
Okay, yeah.
So they was doing, and he used to hang with one of my friends named Shane. God bless they used to hang with Big Shiny Boo. And that's when I really met him. And then he started hanging with this guy named Rico. Then
I'm talking about at the time that you met him, was he was already killing then or he wasn't killing?
When I met Shahid, he was already killing. When the story is when he came, well, the story was before I read the paperwork, when he came down here, he was running from two bodies. But in the paperwork, it said about the same thing. In the paperwork, it says that Shahid was recruited by the FBI to come to Atlanta. That's what paperwork said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, when I met him, he was, when I met, but getting back to Shahid, when I met Shahid, he was the coolest. He was a really good guy if you didn't know how dangerous he could be. You know what I mean? I don't know how to put it. But me and him, like, honest God, I have never had any beef with not one Muslim in the West End my entire life. Not even Shahid. We never had any beef. But the things that he was doing, that at the time I didn't know it, it's just like this. It's like somebody got out of jail, and I was sent. I told like Lee, he was at the time, he was the boss.
Yeah.
So when in jail, I was sitting there while he was in jail. So when he got out, I had to go down the house to see how he got out of jail, because he went to jail for murder. You get what I'm saying?
Who, Shahid?
Shahid. This how he came a rat. He went to jail for murder. When he got out, he jumped out. They were like,
how long he did?
Maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
He did 2 years for shooting Cornelius.
He killed him?
Yeah, he shot him at least 3 or 4 times in the head.
Yeah.
And then he shot Byron in the jaw during the same situation. And this is what the FBI went to the state prison and released them. Released them on however what they released them for. You got to read the book to find that out. But they released him for a reason, to come back to the West End and spy. We know he was spying on Jamil Al-Amin, but they released the man to come home and spy. Once he came home, you got to think about it. I had to go ask this motherfucker why he was on the street. You know what I'm saying? So he told me, and this thing about it, and we keep going through. This motherfucker told me when he got out of state, I actually went and knocked on his door. Without asking, like, just showed up. He came to the door, let me in, and I was just like, hey, man. Why? Because he had been out. Before I found out the motherfucker had been out like 2 months. He had never came to the block.
He was just laying low.
He was laying low.
So before you get started, all this happened before you went to the feds?
Yeah, all this happened before I went to the feds.
Okay, cool.
This really how I go to the feds. This how dumb I was. I'm trying
so
to tell
you do you know what it was?
It do not pay to get hustle in these streets at all. Listen how dumb I was. Okay, I'm sent to the though. The reason I'm sent to the killer.
Who Shahid?
He's a stone cold killer. And see, Lee at the time, Lee like, go see how they out of jail. Cause we don't want this around him. We don't know what he doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause we know what he capable of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why he ain't came up here yet. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I said, we never had no beef with them. You know? So as when I went down there and knocked on the door, the strangest shit, I tell people this shit, don't look at me like I'm crazy. I asked this, think about this nigga, you know, I'd roll with this, you know what I'm saying? So I've been feeding this prison. So I asked, you know, I asked to get out of jail. And, you know, I'm waiting on, you check it like that. I don't know how they do. They say all the paperwork, whatever the call it. But in this situation, it was really like, and I know this,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I already know the nigga, I'm just going to hear him tell me the lie. You get what I'm saying? Because you got to think about I'm riding to a North Stone Cold mother killer though. So when I'm riding, I'm thinking, I say, nah, this ain't killed. I know the person he killed when he went to jail. You get it? So I know, and then how I really knew he had told Uncrete, one of my good childhood friends. They was in this is how he was getting. I was sitting in the Uncrete, and when I found out he was down, I told Uncrete to look out. So when the feds came and got the fat ass Uncrete called me and told me, hey, that went to the feds, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your partner in the feds. You know, but see, what niggas fail to realize when a nigga on the street, nigga don't want to hear nothing about this shit, dog.
Nah,
Who
fact.
in the feds and all this shit. So,
But really, he ain't go to the Fed. He got released.
No, he went to the feds first. Then when he came back, I got another phone call saying, hey, that back, man. Guess what? They said he got out of jail. But look, this stood over there and shot him 3 times in the head. So I'm like, Creek just talk. He want me to send him some, you know, look out for him or something. But I swear to God, then they came home like 2-3 months later. So here I am in this living room now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He sat down, you know, he nigga this train.
What year this here?
Yeah, this guy.
Like 94?
This 90, this the end of 93.
Okay, cool.
End of 93 by November. No, it is in 94. Cause get what? He had been out and he didn't come to my birthday party. There was a big birthday party in November that he wasn't there. So he had already been out because he asked me about the party. So the nigga tell me when niggas sit down, I'm standing, I got my hands in my a hoodie. I went a hoodie with a pocket, I had a pistol in that mother.
Yeah.
You know, I always had my pistol in my, you know how I rock. So look, he sat down, I asked that out of jail. Guess what he said?
What?
I'm waiting on this to tell me, you know, about some paperwork shit. You know, he beat the case and this, that, and the other. You know, I knew about this shit. You know, but he told me, he looked me in my eye, he said, he said, I can't lie to you. He said, you know, the brothers, they got caught at the park with some guns, some kind of gun around. And he said, in that case, they was trying to implement Jamil Al-Amin. Man, you know, I'm just, see, it's
Something about the murder.
He was trying to implement Jamil about the gun running case.
Oh.
This is what he telling me. See, it was a big thing. The Muslims got busted with some guns at the park, right? Dude named Jabri. He an older guy now. But they was legal gun sellers, but Shahid had set them up. We didn't know this at the time. So I don't know none of this, because I ain't gonna speak on what he telling me while I'm green. He telling me that when they got busted, the feds came to him and told him that he had to testify.